I just did this, my own little Justin Ray. It took me like 10 hours to figure this out. But Rory McIlroy is encroaching upon the same number of days in between major championship victories as Tiger Woods went from 2008 through 2019 when he won that U.S. Open on a broken leg and a torn ACL. He didn't win a major again until the 2019 Masters tournament. That was 3,954 days was that streak. Rory McIlroy is at 3,882 days since his PGA Championship win at Valhalla in 2014. The date that he would cross that threshold and have a longer stretch between Tiger's and his is June 8th, 2025, which means if he doesn't win the Masters or the PGA this year, his streak will be longer than Tiger, who went through about 47 lifetimes in that stretch between 2008 and 2019. That is how shockingly long it has been since Rory won his last major championship.
Rory might be such a Tiger Woods diehard that he's doing this as an homage to Tiger Woods, where he's just, this gap has been so long, and we've all lived so many lives in between since Rory won his last major and now. I love it. He's really playing so well, and he's won a couple of golf tournaments already. You go look at his results going back into late 2024. He's just played really, really well, really consistently. What we really need, Riggs, is we need somebody in the media during his media day to piss him off. They got to ask him about Live. They got to ask him about YouTube golf. They got to ask him hey, why'd you take that fan's phone? Like, give him something where he starts to feel like he's getting backed into a corner, and then he's going to win the Masters by 8 strokes. That's something we really need.
It's a great point. A little too like grab assy ever since the Players Championship victory. You know, he was a little spicy during the Players that entire week, as you talked about, with the phone incident on YouTube golf, just kind of all over the Champions Tour, like laughing at these old men that play golf still for a living. And then, of course, he won the Players Championship. Now, you're right. It feels like ever since then, he's kind of happy. He's got his couple wins. He finished top 5 in Houston, but nobody was really talking about him that much. He was just kind of out there hitting 3 woods from 292 yards to like 10 feet and making putts. I need him a little fired up. I need him spicy. So, yeah, we got some friends in the media center there. We could get some questions planted, I think, and get him a little bit pissed off because dude, he hasn't really, I was looking at his finishes at the Masters tournament, and don't get me wrong, he's got, 2014 tied for 8th, 2015 4th, 2016 10th, 2017 7th, 2018 5th, 2019 21st, 2020 tied for 5th, got cut in 2021, then 2nd in 2022, then missed the cut, then 22nd last year. However, outside of that 2018, which is when Patrick Reed won, when he was in the final group with him, even that 2022 when he finished 2nd, that was when him and Morikawa both hold out from the bunker. That he wasn't really like in contention, he was like kind of charging from behind, whatever. So he hasn't really been like in contention at the Masters in 7 years or so. We need a good, strong start. I know that sounds very obvious, but I just don't like this where Rory, he's been known as the backdoor top 10 guy forever. We need him like coming out strong, having a good Thursday, a good Friday, and then it's like go time with him in one of the last 2 groups or something going into Saturday. We can't have this where like, oh, Rory's name did the little graphic thing and appeared going up the leaderboard onto the top 10 for the first time on like Saturday afternoon. We need him there from the beginning. You know what I mean? I feel like he's let us down on that front.
What an interesting look into how hard it is to win majors. I always have that debate about Tiger Woods and how he's the greatest golfer of all time. And you got my buddies like Brian and Tommy that I say that are in the group chat that just absolutely murder Tiger Woods and the fact like, oh, this is what happens when you take, HGH and like you mess up your private life and all these things, like you don't win for decades. And it's like, all right, so you're telling me that the reason that Tiger didn't win was because all these things that happened to him. He had all these surgeries and it's all self-inflicted. And like, if he would have stayed healthy, he would have been the greatest golfer of all time, in your opinion. Now you got a guy like Rory McIlroy, who's considered one of the greatest golfers of his generation, has been extremely healthy this entire lifespan of the time that you're saying that Tiger Woods failed his life and never was able to win. And if he just would have stayed healthy and like grounded and moral and all these things, that he would have won all these majors, right? You got a guy like Rory McIlroy, and it's it's hard to compare because we're saying that Tiger's the greatest of all time. Rory is not in that conversation, but he's the greatest of his one of the greatest of his generations. He's Rory McIlroy. He is above the rest. Like there is there's a pool of golfers, and then there's Rory McIlroy, the Sky Scheffler, there's Tiger Woods. These guys that elevate themselves to another level. Brooks Koepka, they elevate themselves to another level in the biggest stages. Rory has done that. Now you're telling me that he's gone the same amount of time as Tiger Woods during all that trauma and drama and craziness, where he's just been plugging along, playing every single major, trying his damnedest to fucking lift these trophies, and just simply can't do it. He just can't get it done because of the parity in golf, how hard it is to win majors. You get 4 cracks at it every single year. I'm sorry, man. Like, it's just a look into just how much this game has changed. A Rory McIlroy, and this is, you could say this about every sport, and we're not going to go down the rabbit hole, but like a Rory McIlroy that plays in 1975 wins like 1,000 majors. The guy's unbelievable at golf. He's insane. He's hitting the ball further than anyone's ever hit the ball. He's a fucking monster out there, and he can't win majors. We're the same amount of time as Tiger. We didn't even see Tiger Woods for 10 years. We didn't lock eyes on Tiger Woods for like a decade.
Rory has done nothing but get healthier as his career has progressed.
He's hot. He's ripped.
He's super hot. He's ripped. He walks with a bounce in his step. He's
won
really
the tour championship like 1 million times. The guy's won more money than anyone on tour.
He's really embraced the fitness side of golf, almost more than anybody else, at least that we've seen. Like
he was like a slob when he first came out there. You know,
I know. I feel bad, but you go back and look at those old pictures. He's the hair's everywhere,
dude. Him and Shane Lowry in that Netflix episode, they had quite the glow up,
big time.
But he's really embraced it. Now he's gotten better looking, but he's also just, his body seems to be in way better shape. And you're right, it's a really interesting comparison where it's like, I know they're different players. They're Tiger, Rory, whatever. But it's, there's no right way to do it. There seems to be no wrong way to do it. It's just, it's hard to get it done on the biggest stage. And it's hard to say that about Rory, even like, because he'll win the Players, he'll win the Tour Championship, he'll win a bunch of elevated events. It's not like he's not winning golf tournaments. Like when Tiger went away, he was just gone, and you never heard from him again. And Rory is constantly knocking on the door. Pinehurst is a great example of that. I know it didn't end the way that he wanted, but that's still knocking on the door.